Of course. Yep, why not? Hold on. You guys got a little glimpse of four stream. Hi. Hello. How are you guys doing today? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Hope everyone had a good week last week. I didn't see you guys much. Uh just kind of did the one stream and it was a week. It was a busy week and a mentally taxing week, and I appreciate your guys' patience. Um, and of course, as always, you have my apologies for missing days, both announced and unannounced. Um, but we are back. We are here today. A new week. Honestly, we're in a different category today. So I don't know how this will be picked up, if. Um, so I'm actually gonna be talking a little less on stream, about my personal life, because while I've always said I wanted to be open and honest with you guys, and of course that won't change at all. Dubs, hello. Um, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know what that did. Uh, Not that I want to lie to you guys or anything, but I think I need to be a little less public with a lot of things. Not saying that I've gotten any like backlash from it, or that like something has happened and I need to be keeping things a little more secretive. No, I'm starting to do what I tend to do, which is complain and be negative a lot. And I don't want to do that to you guys. Even when negative things are going on, I want to try and use this stream to be a positive space, a healing space, a refreshing space to be in. Both for me and for you guys. You're not here to listen to some stranger complain about the stuff in their life. Like, when major things happen, yeah, like I'll talk to you guys or I'll get stuff off my chest, but otherwise, like, I don't know. I'm gonna try and use stream time to forget about a lot of that other shit. New Year's resolution, I guess you could call it. So hey, in the spirit of that, how... Wow. All of my chords are fucked. I really I tried again, I've been trying my ass off for the last 2 weeks to get a way for Baldur's Gate 3 to work on stream. And I still haven't. So that's been fun. Yeah, I'm basically just gonna put this out there. Like, I really wanted to get back into it. I really wanted to be doing Baldur's Gate 3 for stream. But essentially until I can get Windows set up on the laptop that I need it to be, it's probably not going to happen. I just don't have the setup for it, and the only other way I could do it is on my PlayStation, but that would require one of two scenarios, neither of which are feasible right now. Because one of them would require me to get not only my console back here, but also because, hey, I'm running all this shit off one monitor. And I would need my television back here, which, like, that's the television for our living room. So that's not going to happen. Or I would have to take my entire PC setup into the living room, and that's also not going to happen. And given the performance issues that BG3 has running from the same PC as I am streaming from, as I am recording from and everything, it's a great PC, but it wasn't exactly built to do all that. So, until I can get the other laptop running Windows, so I know what the fuck I'm doing, and can run BG3 through there, that's essentially what I'm kind of waiting on. That's where we gotta be. So, Baldur's Gate 3 will continue to be on a hiatus on the channel, on stream, which really sucks because I've been playing it a lot and I want to just stream it as well. I want to get back to that, but for the foreseeable future, I wouldn't bank on any like individual day being a return to Baldur's Gate 3 unless I like announce something on the Discord. So I am visiting some more tech savvy friends towards the end of the month, I believe, so hopefully by like February maybe we'll have something, but I gotta talk to the person first to make sure that it is something that they think they'd be able to do. There's a couple people I can contact to try and get that ball rolling. So yeah, I just gotta see if they're available, see if it is something they can do, and if so, when and if they would be willing to help me out with that. So until we can get that figured out, it'll still just be some PC games and other shit, like what we're going to do today, which is playing a Magic the Gathering video game that came out on the original PlayStation, the PlayStation 1, called Magic the Gathering Battlemage, I think is its like actual title. So I have an interesting history with this game. I owned it back in the day. Not necessarily when it was like new, because I never had an original PlayStation. I had the PlayStation 2. That was my first like Sony console. But of course, the PS2 is also was backwards compatible. You could play any original PlayStation game on it. So I didn't play Magic the Gathering when I was a kid. I collected the cards because I liked the art and I liked the idea of the game, but I was a kid, and so, you know, any friends or other kids that may have had trading cards at the time, they weren't playing Magic the Gathering. We were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And we were playing Pokemon. So I didn't have anyone to play with, so I mostly just collected them like for the art and everything. And then I saw that there was this video game, and I was like, yeah, I want to play the video game. Because I didn't know how to play the game. Booster packs and stuff like that didn't come with instruction guides or rule books. The internet wasn't really... It was a thing, but again, I was a kid, kind of like growing up into this. Like, so this was like early 2000s, you know, maybe late 90s. So you couldn't just... It isn't like nowadays where you just go online and look shit up. Like, you just didn't do that. Or if you could, I didn't know you could. So I had no idea how to play Magic. I thought the video game would help teach me Magic. I remember playing the game for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, not knowing what to do at all, and giving up on it. And then, you know, eventually getting rid of the game for whatever reason. But then ever since then, and especially since learning Magic, I've been chasing this game down, trying to find it again, to try and play it again, now that I'm an adult with a whole brain, and I know how Magic works. And then I bought it again years ago, like a couple years into Mana and I's relationship. There's a store here in town that you know, it's a secondhand shop, so it you know, almost all of its merchandise is, you know, like trade-in stuff. But they have a phenomenal like retro gaming catalog. And so every time I went, I'd go to the PlayStation section and I would look for this game. And I never found it until one day they finally had it for like maybe 10 or 15 bucks, so I scooped it up. And that was like our first apartment. So 3 apartments and a house later, I don't know where it is. I know I own it. I know I bought it. Whether it is still in my possession somewhere is one thing. But I do know that I own it. So we will be playing it, and hopefully this second attempt at playing this game from my childhood will actually work. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be entertaining at all. I don't know if the game is good at all. It's not exactly talked about a lot, even in like the MTG community, so there's a chance it's a giant stinker. There's a chance I'll play this for 5 more streams. I have no fucking idea. But that is what we are doing today. But before we get into that, I have been working on a couple D&D things. And I just wanted to talk about them. So the first of which is, so again, right now we are between games on like, in my like normal, like our main game night with my group. We're between games right now. I'm still getting stuff set up, and I still need everybody to get their characters to me and like, you know, do all that stuff. So we're between things on that, and as far as I knew, there weren't any like, no one was starting a game up soon, or no one said that they had open slots for anything. But I still, like, I sent a message to our friend group asking, you know, if there was anything open. And no, I asked one of my friends specifically if he knew of any games with some open slots or anything that was going to be starting up soon, and he said no, but I've been kind of throwing the idea around of like DMing something, you know, like maybe like a module or something, but I don't know when I would do it. I don't know who would play or anything. And so I made the suggestion of, I think I've talked about it on stream, how like once a month we all get together to just spend time together and hang out, but also to play games. And most of the time, again, that's like board games and tabletop games. Not like D&D tabletop games, again, more like well, I have some somewhere that I was going to pull out as an example, but I don't know where they're at right now. Yes, I do, but I'm not getting up to get them. But, you know, stuff like Cards Against Humanity and Flux and Munchkin and, like, things like that. We play those sorts of games. Every once in a while, 2 or 3 times I made, I ran, like, a one-shot for us just to, like, play, like, D&D, like, just for that day or whatever. But we're usually hanging out that day for, like, a good, like, 10 to 12 hours. So I just said, I was like, hey, why don't we do it as part, like, I'm wanting to play, you're wanting to run something apparently. Why don't we just do it on our, like, monthly meetup days, but to make it a little more, the idea a little more palatable to the others. And this was the initial intent anyways, but I was like, it doesn't have to be, like, the whole time. Like, we don't have to change our monthly meetups to, oh, now we have another D&D game. Like, we're there all day. Let's just do it during one port. Like, it only has to be 2 or 3 hours. Like, again, we're usually getting there around noon, and we're not leaving till around 9 or 10 o'clock sometimes. So, you know, we're there like 8 to 10 hours. Like, 2 or 3 hours out of the day isn't going to be, like, it'll be a chunk, but it's nothing. Like, if we don't want to do it that day, you know, that's fine. you know, it was just like a small part out of the day. So we put that idea forward to the group, and everyone was okay with it. You know, so we haven't finalized anything. Like, we don't know what we're playing in terms of like the module or adventure or anything. I doubt anyone else has started working on like a character or anything besides Mana and I, because we fucking love making new characters and like starting new games. But all that to say, I've got a new character coming up. And as with, I would imagine, most D&D players, I have a lot of concepts, a lot of backup characters that have been sitting on the side, that at the moment of making them, of course, we're all like, hey, the next game I play, you're gonna be the one. Like, I'm a play that one. And just instead went with something completely different that I felt in the moment. But me being me, I couldn't just, you know, take a racing class option out of like some books. I couldn't just do the easy thing and choose some of the available stuff. No! I had to homebrew some shit. Because I like making it. I like doing homebrew. I like writing for 5th edition. And I feel like I'm pretty good at it. It's at least fun to do. But I also had to do it because there's a very specific character that I want to play, but almost no part of it was in 5th edition, and the one part that was, I really don't like, so I just redid it. And I haven't talked to him about it or anything yet. Dart's the one who's going to be running the game. And so I had to make a 5th edition version of the race that I wanted, and then I retooled the subclass that I wanted to play into something else. So, backstory on that, like, what am I fucking talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. One of the first characters I ever played, back when I was playing 3.5, was in the psionics category. If you're unfamiliar, psionics are they have mental powers. That's what psionics are. Like scions are like they use the power of their big old fucking noodle, and you know, so lots of like psychic powers and things like that. 3.5 had this book, as it did, that was, you know, like the psionics handbook, and it introduced a bunch of new like race and class options, all kind of like focused on this concept. 2 of the options out of there I used to make a character, absolutely fell in love with the character, and because of how the character was designed and how their story works, I can kind of Doctor Who shit and just basically play that character however I want, whenever I want. And that was all very intentional. I had just gotten into Doctor Who at the time by the recommendation of the DM of that game. And so he was, of course, all for it whenever I gave him the concept for it. So what is the concept? Like, who was this character? There was a race introduced in the Psionics Handbook that I also haven't seen since. It doesn't surprise me it wasn't that popular, because it wasn't really too outlandish. The race was called it's either Elin or Elon or Aelin. Not really sure. It's never pronounced anywhere. There's no pronunciation guide in there. It's spelled E-L-A-N. I've always said Elin, or Aelin, but again, it's whatever. But that's the race. And what they are, so they aren't, and actually the first sentence in the description for this race is, Elin are not born, they are made. Don't actually think of them as like their own race, really. All an Elin is a human who has been who has been given powers and abilities through this like secretive ritual. And what this ritual does is it makes them effectively immortal. The race basically just takes a human and makes them an elf, in that they're not immortal. They have an indefinite lifespan, in that no one has seen or knows of an Elin that has died of old age. Your body essentially becomes powered by this wellspring of psionic energy, so it just keeps regenerating itself and sustaining itself. So you stop aging, and you don't need to eat or drink, and you effectively trance instead of long resting. So your long rests only you only have to meditate for 4 hours. Is he a demon helper? What the fuck are you talking about? No. But yeah, so those are Elins basically, and they have a like a couple other like little things, like especially in the 3rd edition version of them, with these like psionic points and all this sort of thing. But effectively, that's what it is that these humans are have a ritual performed on them, and then they get all of these boons. My character's story, because again, remember, I was obsessed with Doctor Who at the time, was that, so he was a human who underwent this ritual to become an Elin, but something went wrong during the process, and while he was successfully turned into an Elin, every amount of time, I believe I had it as like a century, about every 100 years, he will fall into a coma. Wow, okay, thank you, Stream Elements, for letting us know. Half an hour later. Anyways, every 100 years, he falls unconscious into a coma for a plot appropriate length of time. I usually have it as a week, because it's never come up mid-campaign before. And when he wakes up, he has no memories, and essentially wakes up a new person with like a new personality, new likes, new dislikes, new interests, new fears, new talents. So that was kind of my doctory thing of like, oh, you have this like semi-immortal being who like has these different incarnations throughout his life, that are all these like different people. And then the class that I played, which was one of my favorite ones I've ever played, was the Soul Knife, which was kind of like a psionic fighter. Their whole thing was that they could create a blade of psychic energy called a mind blade, and like that's what the class was focused on, was fighting with this mind blade and getting like augmentations for it and powering it up. Like that was your focus. And so I played that class, and like I said, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I've played this, again, technically speaking, like the same character, the same man, a couple different times, but because of this fudgery with what happened with his ritual and everything, every time I play the character, it's a different character. Like, I can play a different personality, a different class, but still technically make it the same guy, which I really like, because I like continuity, and I like a story, and I like expanded universes and things like that. So, so the Elin is in a race in 5th edition, so I had to make it, and while 5th edition did finally introduce the soul knife, a couple years ago, it's as a rogue subclass, and it's not great. At least I personally I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't really think it captured like what I, in my experience, felt like a soul knife was. Rogue was a weird choice. Although I guess I could see it, but it's still more like, it feels more like fighter to me. But thinking about it, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna retool this thing, and I don't want it to be rogue, like just thinking soul knife, someone who can make their own weapons from their body using their mind, so they don't need weapons. Mobility's a big thing, and you know, obviously, like, their whole thing is the power over their mind to control their body and the energy within it. That's a monk. You know, like, ignoring the stereotypical style of a monk, of, you know, like a Shaolin warrior, you know, like Eastern style sort of thing. That's a monk. So I rewrote, I made the Way of the Soul Knife a monk subclass that's the soul knife instead. And I really enjoy it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty balanced. It's a lot more similar to the version that's in the Psionics handbooks, like to its 3rd edition version. So I'm happy. You know, I know it can't be everything that it was, because again, that was a full class, which I have also done, that I would really like to and need to do, like, redo, because when I originally made it and released it on the DMs Guild was like 2016, 2018, and I know I've gotten better since then, so I do need to revisit it. But let me check real quick. D&D Soul Knife 4E. I don't know if they made it in 4th edition. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like they pulled it to 4th edition either. So, okay. How was it called? It's, what? Do you mean the name of it again? It's called the Soul Knife. All is one word. And yeah, so like I said, it's in 5th edition as a rogue subclass. But so the problem with rogue subclasses, to me, like, so the rogue is one of those it's one of those classes that because the base class of rogue gives you so much, the subclass only has that most subclasses in 5th edition give you 3 or 4 things, right? Or at least opportunities. Like, most subclasses, you're gonna get it at 3rd level, and then you have 2 to 3 other times where your subclass is gonna give you something. So, let's see, is that going to pop up? Okay. So for the rogue, it's just called your archetype. So at 3rd level, you get your roguish archetype. So you get it at 3rd level. The next time you get something from your subclass is 9th level. And then after that is 13th, and then 17th. And then that's it. I really don't like this huge gap from 3rd level to 9th level where you're not getting anything from your subclass. Everything else is just from the rogue. You know, the ability score improvement, which, okay, you know, everyone's going to get it 4th and 8th. Then you get uncanny dodge, expertise, and evasion. And then your other... You get 2 ability score improvements before you get your next archetype feature. And I just... Man, it's just... That's too big of a gap. Because, like, when you're looking at it on paper, like, okay, every class goes up to 20th. You're still getting the same amount of features from your subclasses every other class is going to get. You have the same amount of opportunities. Okay, fine. But I've played enough D&D to know, unless you're starting at a higher level, or know that you're going to be playing through an entire module and know where that module levels you up to, because most will say on the back, and it's usually around 15th, or like 12th at the lowest, I think. It's going to be a very rare occurrence that you get to this level. Or at the very least, it's going to take you a while. And I just don't want to wait that long in between getting shit for my archetype. Especially since the character I'm playing is going to be, like, they are focused around being a psionic character. Like, they are focused on being a soul knife. So, for me, rogue isn't it. For what I want specifically. And I also understand that that's, like, you know, a factor of this too. I'm not calling this wrong. I'm just saying for me. Yeah, just, and like I said, like, it isn't bad. It's not a bad subclass. But I just don't, it just didn't really scratch that itch for me. So, yeah, I made my own. Because that's always my answer to especially for stuff in D&D. It's like, oh, they don't have an option for it? Well, I can homebrew something. Which, speaking of, topic adjacent, other D&D stuff that I'm working on. So I was working on the racing class or subclass for that character that I'm going to play. The other thing that I'm working on is a whole new class with 3 different subclasses to choose from called the Mutant. And this idea came from, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. So I was on the D&D subreddit. Yeah, I'm subscribed to it, so I see it all the time. But I came across a particular comment. Yeah, so someone on r/D&D posed the question, what is a class concept nobody's asking for that you like? And someone said, oh, actually, it's the OP, so the person who posted this said, for me, it's the Mutant. I like the theme of the Sorcerer, but I like the idea of getting powers besides spells. What would work, in my opinion, would be a fantasy equivalent to Resident Evil bosses. Growing natural weapons and extra limbs that have specialized uses, and the more levels you have in the class, the more of an abomination you can become. Subclasses would be focused on what made you an abomination. Dragon mutants might get temporary fly speeds, damage resistances, the usual. An aberrant mutant might get psionic and aquatic abilities. Heck, you could get really specific for the sake of flavor. Child of Zugetmoy, she's like a demon prince of like spores or something. So Child of Zugetmoy, who has fungal powers that spreads madness and a static effect to nearby enemies. Go full Resident Evil 7 with it. So I read that, and I said, yep, I'm gonna do that. So I've been doing that. And it's been a ton of fun so far. Still, like, a ton to flesh out. There's only, like, a skeleton there. Like, there's a structure, and I'm starting to put on the meaty bits and fill it out. You know, mostly just going into, like, this whenever I get, like, a specific idea of, like, oh, I know I want this, and I know I want it here. Like, I'll go put it there, and then I'll, like, build up the rest of the features and everything, like, around that, right? And so far the basic structure I have going with this idea of like various things in media that are mutants, like so to me, you got to think about like, okay, so what does that mean? What does it mean when you say you want to play a mutant? That means you want to play a character whose powers come from their own body, and you are manipulating your body to be the weapon, right? So, kind of monk, kind of sorcerer. But then, you know, like this person said, like, oh, you want, I want to be able to like make all these like choices and get these features that make you like, that can make you like more and more of like a terrifying abomination the more you get them. And that kind of reminded me of Warlock invocations. So, the class is kind of a mishmash of, it's kind of a zombie, kind of an experimentation, a mutant of a couple different other classes that I'm trying to like keep balanced, because that's obviously like, that sounds like it's going to be a lot. The psychologist, instead of fighting his opponents, he exposes their trauma. I mean, hey, that would be an interesting idea to go with for Bard, and then you could just flavor your vicious mockeries that way. In tandem, use detect thoughts, get the ideas and the fears of a target, and then use your vicious mockery to bring forth like those exact fears and anxieties that person is trying to keep secret. But yeah, so essentially how the class works is that, I can actually pull it up real quick what I got. So you have mutant points. So there's points that you have, a die that increases just like a monk's martial arts die. And then you also have like a list of mutations that you have, that work just like Eldritch Invocations. Yeah. Blow that up a little bit. So you have mutant points, mutations, and monstrous strength. So mutant points essentially act like key points, like sorcery points. You expend them to use various features. Mutations are like Eldritch Invocation, so like every couple levels, like when you get them, you choose to. Anytime you level up, you can swap it out for another one that you meet the prerequisite for, and then you gain them as you level up in the class. And then again, because like this person seemed to like, they wanted the concept to be like your body is the weapon. You change your body to become more and more of an abomination. And so I was like, okay, that sounds like another one that's going to rely more on their own body for weapons than like picking up a sword or a warhammer. So I made it a feature very similar to the monk's martial arts, but flavored this way. And so again, kind of the same thing. Like this is the damage that they deal with an unarmed strike. And it increases as they gain levels. So essentially how the class works is like you have your mutations, almost all of which require the use of mutant points to activate them. And then your core thing is going to be using like unarmed strikes or simple weapons to attack and deal damage. And so far in the class, that's pretty much it. Like you can see like the actual like features of the class are relatively bare because your subclass is going to give you a lot and the mutations are going to give you a lot of other choices and customization. Like the cleric and I believe the sorcerer as well, you choose your subclass at first level. Because again, this is something that like you are a mutant because of something that has already happened. You're not gonna decide how your mutant powers, how you were granted your mutant abilities at like third level in this class. Like it's gonna happen right away, or has already happened. So that's the mutant origin is basically your subclass for the class. Monster strength is this. And then, of course, you also get unarmored defense because also thinking about a creature, an individual who is going to be changing their form a lot, you don't want to be too restricted to like armor and things like that. So they are meant to be an unarmored class like the monk and the barbarian, so they get unarmored defense. Metamorphosis is just the feature that gives you mutations. And so you get subclass features at 1st, 4th, 9th, and 15th. So by 15th level, you'll get everything from your subclass. Let's scroll down a bit. Yeah, and then just ability score improvements and more. You'll get one more mutation after that, and then just, more mutant points and... Oh, that's wrong. Well, let's fix that real quick. Because that's supposed to basically just be the exact same as the monk. And I forgot to put D8s before it turns into D10s. So D8 from 11th to 16th. Okay, I did it the once and then just... There we go. Yeah, so by 15th level, you're going to get... Like, the last couple levels in the class, the last 5 levels are just more ASIs, the capstone, which, like, the 20th level ability I haven't really figured out yet. And then just, like, more mutant points, one more mutation, and your monster strength die going up again. Yeah, I haven't figured out this capstone yet, because I've looked at the monk and I've looked at the sorcerer, and, like, me and a lot of other people just disagree that, like, a good 20th level ability is not... Because for both of those classes that, again, rely on these points that you get back after a short or long rest, like, the 20th level ability for all of them has just been, if you are out of points and you roll initiative, you gain 4. And that's just doesn't exactly feel like a 20th level ability. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know why this line is appearing bold on stream, but whatever. Yeah, so that's the class, and I could go into all these, the like nitty gritty and everything, but I won't do that today. I did just want to show off the so the 3 different mutant origins I have. So the subclass options for this are the experiment, the deviant, and the infected. So the experiment is going to be concepts like Jekyll and Hyde, or the super mutants from Fallout, where either from your own hand or for someone else's, your body has been experimented upon, something was introduced to it through like scientific means, and that has forever changed you into like whatever creature you are now. The deviant is basically like X-Men, where like it's not that you yourself, like personality wise, are a deviant. It's literally your blood. Like nothing outside necessarily influenced your DNA. Your body, your genes are just different. They are a deviant from whatever the normal is considered for your species. You've just always had these powers, and now they are manifesting themselves. And then the infected. So hey, if you wanna, if you wanna play as a, someone who has been infected with a cordyceps mushroom virus, a la The Last of Us, and are slowly turning into one of those guys, there you go. The infected is more of the, like, the guy was using Resident Evil as an example, and I am not a Resident Evil fan. Not saying that I dislike it or hate it or anything. I never played any of them, so I don't have any experience. I have only seen like I've seen some stuff. I've seen gameplay of like 7 and 8. I generally speaking know about 4 just because of how much everyone talks about it. I've seen both the good and bad movies. So like I know the core stuff about Resident Evil. Like I know about Umbrella and the T virus and that sort of stuff. So with the limited knowledge I have, the infected is also kind of that thing too, of where like you were infected with something, injected with something. You are otherwise infected by your body, your blood has been changed by like a bacteria or a virus or something, and that is where you were drawing your power from. Let's see, what did I say? Yeah, your blood has become infected by some sort of disease, virus, spore, or other natural or unnatural source. This invasion of your blood has begun to warp and change you, but also granted you the strange and abnormal powers. Perhaps it's your goal to cleanse yourself of this infection, or maybe you wish to harness these newfound abilities for your own purpose. So, there we go. That's the class that I'm working on based on a Reddit suggestion, and it just sounded really cool, and I like that kind of stuff too. So, that is the project I kind of have going on in the background right now, while I'm also working on my own RPG and getting that game set up to hopefully start within the next month or two. If my players would fucking get back to me to finish up their characters. Alright, I think we've yapped for long enough. How's about we get into the game that I said we were going to be playing, huh? Which is this one. Yeah, so this is Magic the Gathering Battlemage. Hold on, I couldn't stop it from just, automatically going to a demo of the game as they did, back in these days. So I gotta... Give me a second to turn the music and everything back on. All right, let's get into this and see if I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. I don't know, just in case it ever gets to this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Magic the Gathering Battlemage, a game for the PlayStation 1 that came out in this year. I played it once as a kid and didn't understand what was going on. It doesn't help that at the time I didn't even know how to play Magic the Gathering because I was a wee little lad, and you couldn't just look that shit up on the internet. So I don't know. I didn't know how to play that game, and I thought a video game would help me learn how to play the card game, and it turns out it didn't. It actually made things more confusing. So here I am, over 20 years later, trying it again. So let's just get into shit. Let's just jump into a campaign. Ooh.
In a matter of hours, the planeswalkers would arrive.
Corandor.
And Corandor will be their arena. For 2,000 years, these great wizards have bickered and
Look at the hair.
The most insidious of them all, the Battlemage Ravidel, has devised a way to settle these
Ravidel?
for all time.
Was he a battle mage? Who was the battle
dueling
mage?
chasm of Corandor.
What was that?
Ravidel has activated a powerful artifact.
Is that just a loose moon?
The Mox Beacon.
The Mox Beacon. I wonder if it has a Mox Diamond in it.
His enemies will not be able to resist the beacon's call. For some, it is a reminder of Corandor's splendor, and for others, it provides all
The
more
splendor
reasons
of
to conquer this
Corandor.
precious land. But Corandor's conquerors
Uh-oh.
and defenders have fallen into a trap. Ravidel has discovered a way to empty the spell troves of his enemies.
Oh, shit.
Ravidel knows that planeswalkers draw energy from the lands they control.
They do.
That they cast potent spells with his magical power called mana.
Mana.
So he has
That's
cut
my...
their access to mana,
That's the person who I live with.
at a dangerous advantage. Now the arriving wizards must scramble to regain what has been taken from them.
Oh, look at those ear
Must
pods.
draw upon the lands, search out spells, raise gold and arms. Only then will the survivors possess the power to face the Battlemage.
Yep. Yapping. When do we get to the drawing the cards, man? Select your wizard. So you got these people. Oh, yeah. Jared Carthalion, the Shadow Mage. Orphaned as a child, raised to embrace anger and vengeance, Jared Carthalion embodies the... last hope of a world. Okay. So we got that. We got Tevish Zat. The Doom of Fools. Let's see, we got Sandrew. The Anaba Minotaur. We got Christina of the Woods. I love... We've got Jared Carthalion, the Shadow Mage. Tefis Zot, the Doom of Fools. Sandrew, the Anaba Minotaur. Christy, she lives in the forest. We got Leshrak, Walker of the Night. Leshrak is a lunatic. A wild card let loose. He's such a card. He's the wild card. Gaadrone Dihada. When she sets her sights upon a mana-rich world, the shape-shifting sorceress Gaadrone Dihada is rarely beaten, even by the most powerful of wizards. I don't know, man. I don't know. It probably doesn't fucking matter. It's probably just like the icon or whatever, right? I think I'm gonna go with my boy. I think I'm gonna go with the crow over here. Let's go with Jesus. What's his name? Jared. Yeah, let's go with Jared. I'm gonna go with Jared. He went to Jared. I guess that was the back button. Let's try this again. Select our boy Jared. No, I'm telling you, it was right here. This is where I dropped my contact. Meh. All right. So this is Ravidel speaking. Jared Carthalion, there has been bad blood between us. Aye, even now thou art cursing my name, for it is my spells that have neutralized thy powers. But peace, for a moment. I, Ravidel, appear before thee as an apparition to petition thee thusly. Let us set aside our old enmities. A hopeless war looms before us, a war that bodes ill for us both. Jared, hear my appeal. My Mox beacon summons the most destructive wizards in all Dominia. Excuse me. Dominia to Corandor. Help me, Shadow Mage. Together we can destroy them all. We can take vengeance against those who mean to destroy us by their double dealings. Leshrak, Tevishzat, Christina. It's just such a funny, normal fucking name in the middle of all of this fantasy shit. Geadron Dehada. They would make us scrape and bow. They would loom over us as gods. They have toyed with thine own people, even as they have betrayed me. Jared, help me to bring peace. Select a response. Ravidel, how dare you show your face to me even as an apparition? You murdered my mother and father, destroyed all I ever loved. Yes, I have been betrayed, and weren't you in the shadows all the while? Begone, Battlemage. When next we meet, one of us shall die. Is that how I should play this guy? This Jared whatever, the Shadow Mage, and like he's just a really nice southern like country bumpkin farm boy. It matters not that we have common enemies, Ravidel. You are my enemy still. Some of what you say is true. Leshrak, Zat, and Dehada are evil, but Christina's good and kind. I will defend Corandor against those who would usurp her, but I will not join with you. Or, how else? Exactly. We have always been enemies, Ravidel, but with stakes such as these, I dare not refuse you. I will help you destroy these planeswalker wizards, for the world has no greater enemies. You and I shall deal with one another when our task is done, but know this. Christina is good and just. We will not attack her. I mean, I think the second or third one. It matters not that we have common enemies. You are my enemy still. You are my enemy still. Some of what you say is true. Blah, 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 blah. Leshrak, Zat, and Dehada are evil, but Christina is good and kind. I will defend Corandor against those who would usurp her, but I will not join with you. Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. Ooh, he just took all of his robes off? Always, what voice did I give this guy? Was this right? Always thou wert earnest, Jared. I suppose that's what I like about thee. We will meet again, Shadow Mage. At that time thou shalt speak otherwise to me, or thou shalt surely die. All right, man. You gained 6 tails in taxes. Fucking cool, dude. No. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What is any of this? Okay, well that's loading a game. Let's no. So I'm guessing this will be saving a game. Hell yeah. Campaign 1, saving. Save successfully. Okay. Nope. Well, I don't know what any of this shit is. Like, you guys have seen as much as I have seen. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Trove, I'm guessing, is like the cards I have. Tome is my deck. So 3 forests, a jade stone, 3 mountains, and no plains. Can I look at these cards at all? I hit triangle. I hit triangle. That's okay. So triangle did take me back. Oh, okay. Here's a big question mark. Select a territory to view. How about this white one? Total mana forest, forest, forest. Okay. No. No, I don't want to back out. What's this? Select a territory owned by a planeswalker. Okay. Again, let's... Power level apprentice. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll just... I guess we'll... Where do you wish to attack from? Okay, what territory do I own? Okay. Where do you wish to attack from? Okay, how's about starting with what territory do I own then? Okay, so I own this. Okay, so where do you wish to attack from? This one. Where do you wish to attack? I'm gonna try this one. Okay. Maybe it does have to be adjacent. Okay, yes, I guess that's what that was. Oh, pretty.
Southernmost chain in the spine that divides the continent. Its caverns are said to harbor mysterious artifacts brought to Corindor from Terisiar during the Brothers' War.
Ooh. Okay, what do I...
Southernmost chain in the spine that divides the...
Okay. Good to know. Okay. Oh, we're speaking to Dort now. I have no fucking idea what that thing is supposed to be. Who were... You do not see me spying. No, Dort am not looking at this map. Dort swears. Please do not tell... Knug. The fault is mine. I did not mean to intrude. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the fault is mine. I did not mean to intrude. And just what is on the map? You know, the one you aren't looking at. Tell Knug. I am Knug, pathetic worm. On your knees, or I'll gut you on the spot. I think we'll be nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I apologize for stumbling upon your map searching. Phew, great, thanks. Bye. Trovash remains neutral. Okay, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? You can only attack once per turn. Okay, so was that my turn? Am I taking a turn? What's happening? Oh, okay, so I guess they are... You have to take over areas? But I tried to... Oh, that's a big one. Okay. I wish to attack from here. I wish to attack... here? Zamir. Oh.
Hold. You approach the territory of the Ogrish Legion. We are at war with the Kobold King and are not interested in visitors.
Alright, so... Well, I wouldn't want to interfere with your war. Farewell, Ogress. Ah, but that's why I'm here. To talk about your war with the Kobold King. What's your name, friend Ogress? Yeah, probably that one.
I am Zamir of the Elite Border Guard. What news do you bring?
King Knug plans to ambush you at Vulture Crag. King Zoc has infiltrated your inner circle with ogrish spies and aims to assassinate your queen. You shall all be slaughtered unless you all pledge fealty to me. I am a great planeswalker. Well, let's just... I don't know. We saw something about an ambush there.
Vulture Crag, of course. How could we not have guessed? What reward do you seek for this intelligence?
Well, I wouldn't mind controlling this territory entirely. Some silver or a nice spell or two would do nicely. No, we kind of need... We need it.
Ha! No one controls the mountains of Trovash. Even Shulog the Giant has tried and failed. Good day, silly dreamer.
Okay, so did that just not work? Cool. All right. I suppose that's my turn then. Should I be like, I'm trying to like fight shit, but like nothing's fucking happening. I guess we'll try. I think I gotta be a little less nice. Oh, but that's a fucking dragon.
To disturb the lair of a Shivan, you are either very, very brave or very, very stupid. I see no badges of courage pinned to you, so I wonder which one you must be. Speak up, and don't waste my time, or else I might just develop a nasty cough and your ashes will drift out of here on the slightest zephyr.
Great Shivan, the world outside your cave is under siege by a lunatic. I can help, but I cannot do it alone. Yeah, I'm just picking that one.
The only lunatic that I know of stands before me in my cave right now. So if you will excuse me, my own magics are failing me of late, and I have much work to do.
Oh. Let's see. Your magic fails because the Battlemage Ravadel drains the land for his own use. Corridor is in danger. Will you help me?
So it is Ravadel who is behind all of this. That twisted soul has been a thorn in this world's side since the glaciers retreated. You were right to seek the help of Shivan. What would you need from me?
Ooh. I'm a planeswalker, Shivan, but even I can run low on spells. Is there any way that you can help me out? Your lands are prime territory for Ravadel. If you would allow me to stake it, then I could mount a formidable defense. We need fucking land. Alas, Planeswalker, this land is one of the few things that I... but I will give you one of my spells to ease your journey. Okay. Fire breathing sounds pretty cool. May the spell serve you well and be the luck of the... You gain fire breathing. Neat. Need to do anything about that? moistness. I don't know. I don't know what any of this is. I have to look up a fucking tutorial for this game. Okay, well then, yeah, I guess I'm done. Everyone's getting like territories and shit. Okay. Well, maybe... Yeah, whatever. Let's just... Can we get to fucking fighting something? Can we get to playing Magic the Gathering? When does that happen? When are we gonna throw down some mana and sling some spells at each other? You fucking know what I'm talking about. I don't... What the hell is this? Is this magic? Is this... Do I gather? Whoa.
Tap mana.
Do I just not have any?
Monsters, Goblin Raiders.
Bro, I'm hitting every button.
Select target.
I would. But I don't know how to move. Okay, I think I did it. Okay.
Goblin Balloon Brigade. Monsters, Goblin Raiders. Fog.
I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Me neither. Like, there was no tutorial. I don't think I can leave. R1's the only button that seems to do anything.
Tap mana.
Is it... I don't... What the fuck is any of this? Okay. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. This is actually... While this is super frustrating, I'm actually feeling really...
Tap mana.
Okay, so did I just... Do I...
Green Sprite. Select target. Goblin Balloon Brigade.
This is actually really reassuring that... Okay. I'm going to pause for a second and set my controller down. Let's talk. it is actually really reassuring to me that playing this now as a 32-year-old has been giving me the same experience as a 12-year-old or whenever the fuck I played this game. Probably earlier than that. Because it is just as confusing. It is just as not Magic the Gathering as I remember it being. And I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing here. So let's... Do I... Okay, so R1 isn't even working anymore.
Select target.
Oh, there's a little dude. There's a man.
Merfolk of the Pearl Trident.
Okay, that got rid of one of my little bubbles. I don't know if that's good or bad. Things are happening to... Is this my hand?
Select target. Select target.
Man, I don't have any... I don't know what's going on here.
Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Tap mana.
Okay, so do I... Oh. Okay.
Select target.
Or am I the target? I have no fucking idea what's going on. And there's no... There just isn't a way to, like, exit. Okay, that did something. I'm holding down R2 and hitting up and down.
Flare.
So, does mana just build up over time, I guess?
Tap mana.
Speaking of, hold on, mana's calling. Hello, you were on stream. Should I mute stream?
No, I mean, you could, they can hear.
Okay.
I was just giving you a quick call. It's a NTI day tomorrow at work, so I won't be going in.
Okay, what is that? You mean like a snow day?
Yeah, basically. It's a virtual learning day is what NTI stands for.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's a virtual learning. I'll probably still have my alarms on, and I'll go out and Uber a bit in the morning, but yeah. Just wanted to let you know I just got the one call from the superintendent, so.
Okay.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Bye!
I love them. Okay, so we lost, I'm assuming. I'm gonna back out real quick. You wish to quit the campaign? Yes, I do. So again, I didn't see any tutorial thing. Let's just get back to the main menu here. I didn't see a tutorial. I didn't see anything to help. Yeah, it's just the campaign, a duel, and what I'm guessing are your, like collection of cards. And then the credits and the options. And the options are very limited, like game stuff, like it's just audio. And this, by the way, the difficulty's turned all the way down. So it's not that. Those are the only options I have, are just the sound mixing. I don't know, maybe just this will tell me what to do. Fast effect, select, cancel, X's cast. Scroll the map, cycle cards, zoom, expand or contract cards, cycle creature, cycle wizard, shadows on and off. Okay, so those are just different setups. Okay. That kind of helps, I guess. But I still don't know what I'm doing? I guess I'm gonna try just hitting duel and seeing what, like, is it gonna allow me to build a deck? Does it just give me one? What is this? Boy, every fucking thing has a loading screen, huh? Thank you. So this is my spell pouch, which I'm guessing are my cards. So I have 11 forests, 11 mountains. Okay, so okay, so those are the type of cards I'm guessing. No, I don't want a new one. Did I just fuck everything up? You know what? Let's go back. Oh, shit. Okay, so tome is this game's term for your deck. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna jump into it again and just kind of mess with it, I guess. I guess I don't know how the hand works. Because this is an RTS, it seems like. And I don't really know how that works with Magic. Right, so if this is our hand... Okay, so do I... Okay, so I played a forest, I guess. Okay, well that doesn't cost it.
Tap mana.
No. How do I, like, send them out to attack?
Shadowden Dryad.
I have no fucking idea what's happening. How do I get more fucking, like, mana? And what is this? Okay, I summon an ornithopter. Now what? Does it just do it over time?
Tap mana.
Okay, and then where did that mountain go? Man, I'm gonna have to look this shit up.
Jade Stone. Jade Stone.
Okay, I guess I kind of get it. But then, like, I don't know how to, like, send them out to, like, do shit. Man, okay. I am gonna have to, like... Oh, shit. I didn't realize that happened with my camera. Hold on, guys. Well, why you know working now? Hold on. Figure out which one this is. Hello. Okay, my camera's just not working. My camera's just not working. My camera's not working? Hold on. Yeah, that's I don't know. Like I didn't really bump into anything. I've tried unplugging it and plugging it back in a couple times now. Hold on. I'm seeing if it's just maybe the port that it was plugged into. So I'm trying in another one. Okay, so that is still powering it. Okay. All right. Well, that was weird. No, so I was actually I was just going to get on and be like, "Okay, well, I'm going to try and learn this off screen. Because I don't want to do that on stream." Because that's going to break down into me watching someone's content on YouTube to try and figure this shit out. And one, I don't want to come off as like stealing anyone else's content. We've watched plenty of other videos on here before, but okay. So I think I'm going to leave it there for today. We'll come back on Wednesday either with me having learned how to play this game or something else entirely. If I take a look at it and it just seems boring. We've got other games to play. Obviously, I have a enormous Steam library. There's other old school games that we can jump into. Actually, today, like before I remembered that I had this on here, I was considering just loading up some Pokemon Puzzle League again. It's been a while since we did it, and that's always fun. I've got some other nostalgic stuff on here, or rather some old games, because I also have Final Fantasy Tactics, which is one that I missed out on. I never played. So maybe we can try that. Maybe that has a tutorial. Yeah, I don't know. We're stream's kind of loosey-goosey again. We do have Skyrim. We could potentially kind of scratch that Baldur's Gate itch with some Skyrim, if you guys want me to play that. So we got options. Just check it, just watch, and you'll if you look at the stream title and all of this, and maybe I'll do some writing. Maybe I got the physical like thing in my game now, so I don't know, maybe something with that if I set something up. We'll see. You're kind of playing it loosey goosey, so I guess I'll see you guys on Wednesday unless something fucking horrible happens again.